The teacher gave me a demerit for improper use of flatulence. I can't believe I just said that. That's such a weird thing to say.
Hi, I'm Bailey Madison,
And I'm Kevin Quinn.
and we are going to be playing My First big win at life. I booked a film called Just Go With It, and that felt like a win. But then the big win was that I got to film in Hawaii and swim with the dolphins, and that was like always on my bucket list. So as a 11-year-old, 10-year-old at the time, that was a win for me.
I feel like your spirit animal could be a dolphin.
Really, I've always felt like I was an otter.
Really?
Otters are the only animal that hold hands,
Wow.
and I like that idea.
Well, but dolphins are also very intelligent, so.
That's nice. Thank you, Kevin.
Hey,
I appreciate
anytime. Yeah, I do remember the first time I got in trouble. I was in 5th grade, and we had a demerit system at my school. And I remember, sorry for TMI here, but I farted during class, specifically art class. And the teacher gave me a demerit for improper use of flatulence, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I had to stay at after school detention for doing that in class. I can't believe I just said that. That's such a weird thing to say. I was in 5th grade.
Was it on purpose or was it like an accident?
No, it was by accident. Like the art teacher was lecturing us, and I was just like,
If it happens, it happens. I feel like you shouldn't have detention over that. I'm so sorry.
I know.
I also got in trouble in choir once for over singing the part because I
Really?
got really into the song and I just continued it.
You know, you're pretty talented.
Hey, you're good, man. My first job that I really remember was I was 4 years old and I did a film called Lonely Hearts.
4 years old? That's crazy.
I
You
know.
were so
I was
young.
going through old photos the other day with my mom in Florida, and I found all these like film photos of like me and Selma on set, and there's a photo of like me on like John Travolta's lap because I was so tiny, like smiling, and I was like, oh, this is something for the archives.
My first injury. I can tell you about the first time I broke a bone.
I'd love to know.
One time I went into the doctor's office and got my blood drawn. And I told the nurse that I thought I was gonna pass out. And he was like, oh, don't worry, I'll come back with some orange juice, get your blood sugar up. And before he came back, I fell off the medical table onto my knees, onto the concrete tile. And as I was becoming unconscious, I slammed my nose on the ground. And I woke up with a broken nose like 2 minutes later, and
It's not
it was
funny.
horrible.
So
And I had to wear a
sad.
cast. I had to wear a cast too.
My first school dance. It's gonna sound sad, but I've never been to a school dance.
No.
I know, I was never in a school dance. I was working and elementary school, and then from middle school, high school, was homeschooled online. But I do consider my first like dance or like gala or whatever, I did get to go to the White House Correspondents' Dinner, and like during the Obama administration. And that, to me, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call that my prom.
There you go. That's a good first prom.
That was my prom. It was great.
My first bad haircut. Well, my grandparents lived on Long Island outside of New York, and we were traveling for the holidays, and my hair was so long and I needed to get it cut. So we just went to like the local barber in this small town, and they had a cookie platter by the entrance, and I left the barber shop and took a cookie, and outside the window I slammed it on the ground in front of the person who just cut my hair. I was like, I hate it, I hate my haircut. And my mom was mortified.
That was a risky move, Kevin.
I know. I was so reckless as a kid.
I got this. First CD I ever owned, Ali and AJ's album. Potential Breakup Song was like my go-to. I went to a store called Limited 2, which if anyone remembers Limited 2, it was like the most neon, the most glitter, the most like tutus that you can find.
Perfect for your personality.
Perfect for my personality. And my mom took me to the mall, and I bought the Ali and AJ CD, and we put it in the car, and oh man, I mean, whole ride home I was just shouting Potential Breakup Song.
I love that story.
The first time I went camping, I'm really sad to say, I've actually never been camping, so the closest I've ever
Aw.
gotten was from filming A Week Away.
A week away is a better camp experience than what you would have had.
Yeah, our trailers were not too bad after.
True. True. We hope you enjoyed hearing about our firsts.
Our new film, A Week Away, is now streaming on Netflix.